Our project is about re-establishing the balance of nature while catering to the basic needs of a growing population. Many of the world's problems today can be traced to energy use. In many of the poorest parts of the world, the lack of energy stifles economic development. Globally, more than 1.3 billion people have no access to electricity. More than 95% of these people are in sub-Saharan Africa or developing Asia, and 84% live in rural areas. As the world's population is rapidly increasing, so is the demand for electricity and water.
So how can we change this?
We researched to establish a commercially and ecologically viable mechanism to use the most ubiquitous resources in nature to produce energy as well as water. Presently, there are many proof-of-concept sustainable devices that produce electricity, but none of these have been viable enough to justify their cost of production.
We have worked tirelessly to create an innovative solution to these problems, introducing Project Wujood.
Meet Team Metakids. We are 4 GCSE A-level students hailing from Lahore, Pakistan. Project Wujood aims to take the naturally occurring oxygen and hydrogen present in the air and use it to produce electricity. In our model, phytoplankton use up carbon dioxide and sunlight from the atmosphere to produce oxygen and hydrogen, the fuel stock for our hydrogen fuel cell. Our end product is electricity and water, and no waste is produced in the process.
These microscopic plants need light to grow and so are found in the top 10 meters of the ocean. They live as single cells or are grouped together in chains so that they can photosynthesize just like plants on land. Phytoplanktons absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They do this so well that they produce almost 50% of the world's oxygen.
In a basic hydrogen fuel cell, there is a cathode, anode, and electrolyte present. Firstly, hydrogen and oxygen gas enter the cell after passing through the molecular sieve membranes and enter the proton exchange membrane. Electrons are removed from the hydrogen molecules and flow towards the cathode. Thus, electricity is produced with water as a byproduct. Our aim is to focus on the following. Low cost. The Wujood model will cost less than $400 once mass-produced at a commercial scale. This will make it much more affordable for people from low-income areas. Secondly, we aim to minimize the impact to the environment. The increase in carbon dioxide levels has caused numerous environmental threats to crop up, and it is the biggest contributor to global warming. With the commercial production of the Wujood cells, we aim to decrease the level of carbon dioxide in the air, making them better than zero-emission cells. It will not emit pollutants or toxins, so it can be used in enclosed areas without negatively affecting human health or the environment. It will reduce noise pollution levels as well. Our product is quiet, which makes it especially suitable for places like hospitals. We aim to recycle and replenish natural resources as quickly as possible. Our project will help people who live in sparsely populated areas have access to electricity. People wanting to set up small-scale businesses in rural areas will be able to set up enterprise. This will ultimately result in the economic prosperity of developing areas. If this process is tapped onto on the large scale, we believe it will also have a considerable impact on the availability of potable water. The Wujood mechanism is simple. This graphic representation shows the three main components of the fuel cell. In addition to this, molecular sieves will be installed between the bottles and fuel cell tubing to filter out all impurities and unwanted gases. If given the opportunity, we can use it to make a difference in the lives of millions of people. It may be just a small idea, but ideas have the power to change the world.